This is just a quick, cheap fix, just as an alternative to spending $150 or whatever on one of these modules and then waiting for it to come in the mail. Hello, all of my YouTube people. Welcome back to my channel. And guess what? It is winter time, officially in the Okanagan. It has been snowing for a couple days now. My cold is slowly going away. I still have a little bit of a cough and a stuffy nose, but I feel much better than I did a week ago. I'm doing much better for health-wise and just recovering from this flu or whatever it is. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has commented wishing me health. I'm definitely behind in the video making because I have been at home for the last week being sick. Anyway, I wanted to make this video just to talk about this handy dandy but also problematic little device that my Dyna, my 1994 FXD WG, came equipped with, and I think most Harley models through 93 to early 2000s did come with one of these. It's a turn signal module. I haven't done too much research on other years, but I know that the Sportsters, like the XLs and stuff through the 90s had these, and my Dyna and other models I know have them. I don't know when they stopped using this particular module, but it looks as though it was somewhere in the early 2000s. So I wanted to talk about this module and how I eliminated it on my Dyna. I wouldn't recommend this for anyone really, I would recommend it if you're looking for a quick, cheap, easy fix just so you can ride your bike and have turn signals if your signals aren't working and if this is the problem. But I will remind everybody, just right off the bat, that I'm not a professional. I'm not telling anybody to do anything to their motorcycle or to not do anything to their motorcycle or whatever. This is just what I've done with mine and what works, and it's, like I said, a quick, cheap fix, just as an alternative to spending $150 or whatever on one of these modules and then waiting for it to come in the mail, right? So this could be considered a temporary fix. It'll probably be more of a permanent thing with me because I just don't really care about the features that are all bundled up in this little package. I mentioned in one of my videos previously how my turn signals weren't working, and I mentioned how I fixed that problem, but I didn't really go into much detail about it. So when I was doing all the wiring and stuff on the Dyna, my dad and I had just discovered a few different issues and stuff, and one of those issues was that my lights, my turn signal lights, would light up to full bright, but they would not flash. So I could turn on the signals on the handlebars here, and all it would do is just turn on fully illuminated and not flash at all. So that is an indication that something is faulty, either a bulb or or something else going on in the wiring somewhere. So I troubleshooted it and I discovered that it was this module. One of the things I did to test was I took one of the old flashers out of the FX sitting behind me here, and I plugged that in. So I just kind of just jimmy rigged it in there, and just to see if the signals would flash if they were going through a flasher, and they did. So I knew it wasn't a bulb or anything like that. And yeah, anyway, so my solution to this problem, rather than spending the $130 or whatever dollars on a new module and then waiting for it to show up, I went out and bought 2 flashers that would be like what you would normally find in like an older truck, and they were $7 a piece, so $14 at the end of the day. and I just wired those in. So I bypassed the block that this would wire into completely, and I'll show you guys what I did actually. And wired in these 2 flashers, and now my blinkers flash. So keep in mind though, this module does do more than just regulate the flash for your blinkers. This is also part of your security system, and I think it's a pretty major component. If you have a security system on your bike, this will be part of that. It will activate your horn, and your lights will flash. So without this, you probably don't have those functions anymore for your security system. If that's not an issue to you, then that's not an issue to you. It's not an issue to me. If it's an issue to you, then you might want to buy one of these and replace it. But still, this can be a temporary fix for anyone who does still want to use the proper turn signal module. If you want to ride your bike in the meantime while you're waiting, then this is a good temporary fix for you. This module, it also has a self-canceling thing built into it, so it'll detect if the bike has been tipped, and it'll turn the bike off. So your motorcycle, if you crash it or if you drop it or whatever and it's running, this will be able to detect that, and it'll shut the bike off automatically. So that's also a security feature or a safety feature that's built into this, as well as the self-canceling option on your turn signals. So my turn signals do not self-cancel, and they don't stay on unless I'm holding the button on. So that would probably be the biggest drawback for this, is that you have to hold your buttons down. To me, it doesn't matter. Anybody who's seen my bike knows that I don't have turn signals on my shovel head anyway, and I don't know if I've ever ridden a bike with proper operating turn signals in the past. So like I said, this is all a preference thing. These are things and options that I don't care about. I've never had these luxuries, so for me to not have them on the Dyna doesn't really make a big difference. So what I did now to eliminate this, like I said, is I took this out completely, and I removed the block that this wires into, and I just wired in the flashers. So I'm going to show you guys how that all looks under the seat here, and try to explain it a little bit better for anyone who wants to do this themselves. So yeah, I'll just show you guys how this all looks. Okay, so I've got my seat off, and I'm just going to show you guys how we ended up doing this all up under here. And I correct myself, because we did not eliminate the block. We actually used the block to connect to the wires coming out of the chassis. All of this wiring here is stuff we added in because there was no usable wire, because this would have plugged into the block originally, and there was no wiring beyond that. The wiring that is stock, this is a white with a blue stripe, and then we had a white with a violet stripe. Can't see the stripe on it here. Or a purple stripe, whatever you want to call it. And then there was, don't mind my hair in the way. And then there was 2 violet wires going in and 2 brown wires. And then I found wiring in our extra wiring we had around that was all basically the same color. So we've got a brown wire coming out, purple wire coming out, white and violet, and a white and blue coming out the other side. Going into these flashers, so I've got one of the flashers here, the other flashers down in there because I didn't want to take them both out. So this wire, this flasher has the, okay guys, so this should actually be the brown wire with the white and purple wire, and then the purple wire with the white and blue wire. Yeah, so these are all just wired into this block, and what I did is I ended up having to salvage pin connectors out of some old blocks that we had hanging around. Like my dad has always been someone to save things that could be useful, and a lot of the stuff does end up coming in handy. So we've got a big box of old wiring with different blocks and all these things in it, and the store was sold out of pin connectors when we had to do all this, so I ended up having to salvage some pin connectors out of some old blocks. So what I did is we got these pin connectors, and I'm just gonna pull one out part ways. We soldered them into these wires. So this is my dad's work, and yeah, he just did a really clean, nice job of this. So he soldered in pin connectors to the ends of these wires, and then into the other ends some spade connectors to plug into the flashers. That's basically it, guys. Instead of this block now plugging into the turn signal module, it just has these 4 plugs for the flashers. So for these old school flashers, we didn't need any of these extra wires. There's the horn, the tail light, and then I don't remember what that other wire is for, but we didn't need them, so we just left those as they are. They're safe in this block. They're not gonna hit the frame and end up causing any shorts or anything like that as they are in the block. And yeah, I just got these couple old school flashers, and we just wired those in. I have them wrapped in this thin rubber. This is actually pond liner or tire tube or something like that, just to keep them a little bit protected. And then we were able to use the hole that the turn signal module was already threaded into before. We were able to use that threaded hole to hold on this bracket that I can't seem to get a tool into to get out. So I'm just gonna take this out just to show you guys, because, well, now I have to. A really long bolt here, and it was just a 1/4 inch coarse thread, but it's just a piece of aluminum that's just bent to hold these flashers just up against the frame nice and snug, so that they're not dangling around in here, because they are a little bit heavy, probably a little heavier than what you want to be dangling off your wiring. And it's another piece of little rubber in there just to help kind of tighten everything down a bit. And yeah, anyway, that is how it's all looking under there, and it works pretty good. So I'll just show you guys the box that these came in, so you guys can get that part number if you guys want to grab some of these for yourself. I don't know if part number might be handy or what, but so this is the box for those turn signal blinkers, and that's the part number there. It's just ironic that the beginning of the part number is HD. So it's just HD12, no Vita. I just got the heavy duty one. It's a heavy duty application, and it was actually cheaper than the one that was regular application, and there was nothing on the box that said that there was any difference in the way they function at all. So I'm sure that any old school flasher would work for this. And yeah, it's just as simple as that, guys. If you know how to do some basic soldering and you're into not having all these fancy functions on your bike, if you don't use those anyway, or if you don't care, then this is a really good fix. And if it's not a permanent fix for you, then it's a great temporary fix anyway, while you wait for your turn signal module so that you can still ride your bike. And like I said, it's 14 bucks. So whatever, right? That's pretty cheap. In my mind, it's a pretty cheap fix for a Harley, because we all know HD stands for $100, and if you're not spending $100 if you have to fix something on your Harley, it's a pretty good deal in my mind. So that's it for this video, guys. Just a short one. I just wanted to show you guys all how I fixed that, because I didn't see really any other people talking about it, and yeah, I just found that this was just a really cheap, quick, easy fix. I had it done in an afternoon, not even. Had to just run to the automotive shop and pick up a couple flashers that are really commonly used, and it was, yeah, made it so that I didn't have to spend, like I said, that $130 or whatever and then wait for it to show up in the mail. And that's always a bonus to me. I think y'all know that by now because I've kind of preached it on my channel a little bit. I'm about saving money, not spending it, especially when I got 2 Harleys to be spending money on. So anyway, guys, that is really it. Like I said, that is just a short video for you all today. I hope that it was helpful for somebody. If you guys are out there and your turn signals aren't working and you just want to ride your bike and you don't have the extra money right now or whatever, that's my quick, simple fix. Works for me. Can work for some of you too, right? And yeah. Anyway, like always, guys, if you like what you see, or if you just like me, or even if you don't like me, but you like my bikes, the Dyna, the shovel head, then like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little notification bell if you want to be notified every time I put a new video out. And like always, my YouTube people, I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace. And winter has hit Canada, my friends.